when people try to blackmail your image, your identity, so you want to live in a way that you are not, God does not like such things. So when people try to blackmail you for who you are, you have to level up yourself. I mean, the amount of your personal attitude, your character, in order for you to be able to match with the identity that God is preparing for you. So, for the fact that you are from Mbise, so people don't like you, or people like you, but they see you as somebody they can use in order to do one or two things, that will not make you, for you to, I mean, to be doing things anyhow. The people I met, I was the only person who happened to be an Mbise person. But I stayed with everybody, and nobody know that I'm from Mbise. So, but that was because I was kind of afraid to say that I'm from Mbise. Because I know that if I began to live the way for them to know that I'm from Mbise, they may not like me. They may not give me the opportunity for me to do what I want to do with them. They may not, you know what I'm saying? So they say that if you are from Mbise, you know everything, like, you know, and such thing, God does not like it. God does not like when you trust in your own knowledge, in your own power, in your own understanding. God like you when you know that it is only God that can fight for you. You know, there was a time a man of God said to me, let God fight for you. But I was like, God fight for me. Didn't God see people attacking me? He said, let God fight for you. But I don't know what he meant by let God fight for me. So I never understood what he meant. One day I was invited, you know, I was in a church and the pastor said to me he wants me to preach. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna preach. Why? Why do you? No, I was like, every person in this church, I was the only person you are pointing to come and preach. So because then I was like, if you are a preacher or you are a pastor, so you have no problem, like you have no challenge, you know what I mean? So you are the best man of God. So you are the best man with God. So in everything, God always, you know, make everything for you perfect. You know, you have no challenges. So that was my own insights. You know, seeing people who are doing the things of God. So I see myself like, no, I cannot do that. You know, so I am not up to that level, you know, for me to preach. So I never preach. I quit going to church because of that. So I quit going to church because of that. You see what I mean by identity. When you have not lived up to who you are, there are things you'll be missing. And there are things that God will prepare for you and you will miss them because you hide. You know, and I have always been praying to God that I want to preach. And I have always hoped to preach. I have always wanted to preach. And the opportunity came for me to preach. But I could not preach. And I ran away from church. I stopped going to church because of that. Like when God said pray for Patrick, I have always have that feeling in me that I can raise the dead. And God said to me that you can raise the dead. And I have always want to pray for somebody who is sick and to bring the person back to life. But the opportunity came, God said pray for him and he will be restored. But I could not pray. And I have always said to God, God, I want to have business, I want to run business, I want to be on the business for front runners. The opportunity came, God said, okay, take over the business and run the business. And I said, and I was saying that, God, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. I cannot. So I was like, and it was just, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse, I think, chapter 1, verse 3, or something like that. Let me check.